I grew up with a parent who was a bit of an entrepreneur, and he was working for people until he was like 50. And when he went back to it after my parents got divorced, he goes, honestly, he goes, the sooner you start self-employment, the better. And you're too old, like after a really young age. I did the math in my own head, and I came up with like the right number of 21, because at that point you just realize, because this is, I don't know about you, but when I've done certain day jobs, there is a certain pattern. Now maybe it's just me and I'm just an idiot, and I'm going to totally acknowledge that that's a possibility here, right? But I just came to the realization. Now, don't get me wrong. If you love your, by the way, straight up, little caveat at the beginning. If you love your job, then nothing I say here matters. Nothing, right?
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
Yeah, facts. Nothing I say matters. If you don't, though, this does matter. Here's the thing. I realize that by and large, you're putting in your time and energy to make somebody else wealthier. Now, the trade-off is security, but I'm looking around. I don't know about you, Miss. Is it Miss Moka or is it Miss Lady Moka? Like, what did you prefer here?
Just
You're,
doesn't matter to me. You
okay,
call me
yeah,
anything, just not late for dinner.
gotcha. So I say like this with all sincerity. Then we don't live in a secure world anymore. So
No,
then the question
absolutely right.
becomes, then what value does working for a company have for an extended period of time with anyone anymore value? And that's it. That's the thing. Like, we don't have that security anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, then now again, the exception to this, you love your job. Fuck what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah,
Don't listen to me.
exactly.
I'm an idiot. Then I'm a blithering idiot. You love your job. I'm not here to dissuade you from that, right? I don't
Mm,
care what your job. If you like making the greatest frappuccino at Starbucks ever, and that's your bag, right?
right.
Yeah, groovy.
Do make yeah. Do makes
Yeah,
you happy.
yeah, exactly. Life is too short. If you're
Hmm.
not happy, however, which I
Yes,
think is the
that.
vast majority of people listening to the show, working for, and looking at the look on your face when I said that, yeah, I think that clicks somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I don't hate my job,
no. It's not about hate. It's not even
but
about hate. But you're probably apathetic.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
apathetic.
That's yeah. That
Yeah,
that would
right.
be appropriate term.
Yeah. So here's the problem with someone like you. Then this is maybe, I don't know you very well, so if I'm giving you advice too early, I'm not. I don't charge.
It has
Right.
its flaws. Someone said yes. That yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Working for
Right.
yourself definitely, and
No.
also
Oh no.
growth.
There is no. Also, hello, Jack. How you doing? No. It's true. It's true. There is no such thing as a perfect situation.
Hmm.
Period. But there is a couple things that need to be thought about very hard when you do make the decision to work for somebody. What
Hmm.
are you hoping to get out of working for somebody? That's a legitimately honest question
Hmm.
that needs to be asked, because if you're looking for just a paycheck, there is a danger if you have other aspirations, and this needs to be stated very hard. And that's this: work is worship, and what I mean by that is how you approach, how you do your job, whatever you choose to do in this life, is how you approach your life. Very much the attitude is the same. So the danger of apathy when you work for somebody is this: you get sloppy because you don't give a shit, and it's easy not to, because
Hmm.
you realize deep down that it doesn't matter to you, and that's a dangerous spot to be in. And in some
Hmm.
ways, it's worse. And then hating your job. Hating your job will push you to get out. Being
Hmm.
apathetic towards your work, right? Well, I don't mind the job. I stayed at Pure Later probably a little too long
Hmm.
because of that attitude. Although I never, but again, I kept this in mind when I was working there, and that was this: if you're working for somebody and you're apathetic towards it, you have to keep yourself the discipline to keep yourself in certain habits. Because if you don't, then this job is going to bring down everything else you're working towards.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Exactly. Oh yeah, totally. I mean, you know, y- when you when you start getting to the point where you're just treading water, you don't go the extra distance. You don't go try to do anything above and beyond what's expected for you because you're just like, meh. That starts to leak into your home life as well,
Yes.
because it becomes harder and harder to turn that apathy off. It becomes harder and harder to just be like, there's no
Yeah.
fulfillment. And it does. It starts to leak in and leach into your private life.
Yes. And then once that happens, you're kind of fucked until you get rid of the
Mm-hmm.
job. That's
Right.
just the way, right. That's just the way it goes. So it's interesting. We live in an interesting time this way because that is like, again, we all ideally like to have some job security. It's nice
Mm-hmm.
because,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to be able to eat. That's
Yeah.
great.
Right.
Everybody likes
Ooh,
that.
the lights can stay on.
Yeah,
Yay!
hey, we hope, right? And again, with the way things are going, keeping the lights on and
Right.
eating might become a tug of war.
Right.
Or,
It'd be a lot
or
of having dinners by candlelight.
mhm. It might happen. Like I said, our leadership, no matter what country in the world it is in right now, is kind of fucked. So that's just where we're at. So, but when you come around, but again, going to the topic at hand here. So looking at it like that, you have to make some conscious decisions about how you want
Hmm.
to live your life.
Right. You have to figure out what things are you willing to compromise on, what things are you not willing to sacrifice to pick, again, like, both has their flaws. Working for someone else, working for yourself. They both have their flaws, and you just have to do the pros outweigh the cons. Because if it ever gets to the point where the cons equal or outweigh the pros, it's not worth it.
And that doesn't matter which side of the spectrum you're on.
Yep, exactly. Doesn't matter which end it is on. If the pros don't stand up to the cons, no, because then you start getting bitter towards it. You start looking at it with spite, and that just mm-mm.
And with stuff you love, especially, that is something to guard against
Yes,
very hard.
yes.
So I don't know about you, but I like one of the ways I've guarded myself against this is an asshole tax. So
Okay.
here's how it works. I'm a freelancer, right? So I'm going to be working for some people. Now I know what my worth is, right? And I'm going to try to obviously get the best I can to get that worth. Now, if you're a decent human being to me, maybe I compromise a little bit on that price because you're awesome.
Hmm.
Maybe,
Hmm.
right? Maybe. Now, consequently, what if you're a dick? Right now,
Yes.
now, see, this is the beauty thing about being self-employed is you have this option of, do I want to deal with certain things? Now, there are things personally that I hate, right,
Hmm.
and they are, for example, I will not work for someone that just outright lies to me. Like I just won't do it. Like that,
Right.
that's a
Hmm.
good rule, right?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent rule.
Now, I will work with you, but I hate it. Is passive aggressiveness, right? I hate it,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
I'll deal with it. But I will charge you more for it.
Yes.
Yeah, I will charge you more for it because again, if
Hmm.
I'm again, this is what I mean by asshole tax. Like again, I have to deal with you. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Take this
Right.
price
Exactly.
and I'm going to raise it
Right.
so I
Like
don't resent dealing with you.
right.
Right?
Like
Right.
there's the somebody I'd seen probably on Reddit or something where a coffee shop was like, a cup of coffee, $5. May I have a cup of coffee? $3. May I please have a cup of coffee? I hope you have a wonderful day. $1.50. And basically it's like, this is, if you're nice, it will get you far. If you're going to be a jerk, well, we want more money to deal with your shenanigans.
You can swear on my podcast. It's okay.
Okay, thank you. I was just gonna ask.
Yes.
So we don't have to deal with your bullshit.
Exactly.
If I got to deal with your bullshit, I'm gonna get paid for your bullshit.
That's it. See, that's a wonderful thing. That's like I said. They call that an asshole tax. That's
Yes, I love the asshole tax.
Yeah.
No lie, love the asshole tax.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just like one of those. And Jag's laughing because she's like, yeah, it makes sense, right, Jag? It totally makes sense. And if you think so, here's the other thing I've learned, and this is the biggest thing I've learned as a freelancer. The more money do you charge that people are willing to pay for, the more they respect you. Yeah, go right ahead, Maddie. Go right ahead. Steal the asshole
By
tax
all means,
idea.
yeah.
Now, I have given my illustrator for one of my next books. I gave her that. I taught her that. She's actually used it. I'm very proud of her. I'm
nice.
very, very, very proud of her.
Yes. I mean, there, obviously there comes a threshold to the asshole tax where there's no amount of money that, like, because I've met a couple people like that. I'm like, there's no amount of money that anyone could pay me to work with certain people. Just no. Mm-mm.
So Maddie, the first chapter you read last night, that's what that is. So I've been working on my 8th and 9th releases at the same time. I'm drawing my 8th one right now, which is scaring me, right? Because it's like I've never done this before, and it scares me in like the best way. And then my 9th book, I'm getting somebody really I've wanted to work with for over a year, like just someone I really personally am a big fan of personally.
Oh, awesome.
And yeah, so we've come to a deal. So now I got to get my shit together so I can start this deal. But I'm working on that novel right now. It's a Russian fairy tale / Camelot, pulpy. It's a pulpy Russian fairy tale where the villains, as I took the Knights of the Round and I made them all evil. You're in, and you haven't even read it yet.
Yeah. Well, so I enjoy when. So I've always, I've said I'm waiting for a Star Wars movie to come out or series that is completely from the Sith side, like goes over everything, because I feel like that's something that no one ever really delves into. I mean, I know most likely the books do. I've not read any of the books, so please don't anybody kill me for that. But
okay.
But movie-wise, yeah, I think a movie that shows the events happening from the Sith side would be perfect. So taking, people who are classically, known as heroes and turning them into villains.
Well, yeah. So
I like that a lot.
So I'll spoil. You want me to spoil? I'll spoil a little piece of it.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So Percival's the first villain, because there's a couple of reasons for that. Because he's the, typically speaking, most stories are written from what I call the Percival style. Because Percival is the naive, doesn't know what he's doing. I turned him into because it's the Holy Grail was the big thing he looked for. I made him an all-powerful genie. And I combined him with a certain Russian empire by the name of Mr. Rasputin. You might know who that is. So I added a little Rasputin, and I think of the Grail as a way to warp Percival into a little more like Rasputin, and you have suddenly a really interesting emphasis on who the villain is. In my universe, Morgan Le Fay wins. Just so you know, that she won.
I love it.
Yes,
I love it. Morgan Le Fay winning is perfect.
Yeah, my hero is a very, very Parker-esque kind of hero. So
very nice.
Code of Honor. Yeah, I don't know if you know. I don't know. So I'm a big fan of Darwin Cook, the comic book artist Darwin Cook. He did a bunch of crime novels based on Parker. And on the Parker concept, they look so good. I want to make my own. So I got the right person to make my own. I'm really excited about that, because it's going to be my 9th release. The next release I'm writing and drawing, it's called Lights Out. It's my little homage to Fahrenheit 451.
Oh, very nice.
Yes. Yeah, except it's more about art than reading, but still, I'm that's why I'm drawing it because
Mhm.
I don't know if you've seen any of my art on Facebook or not, but if you have, I'm getting
Mhm.
better, right? I'm
Well,
getting better.
everyone starts somewhere, and I think that
Exactly.
that's amazing.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Like that's it. Like I'm a creative dude. Now I just gotta get my shit together now, so I can get to all that creative stuff later. And
Yeah,
that's
right.
to me. And I figured out how to turn my podcast into an advertising model. So we'll see how that actually works out.
Very
But
nice.
yeah,
Very nice.
yeah. I think like as you can see, I have a really big. I have a big mouth. I'm good at this big mouth stuff. Yeah, right. And I can build
You
other people. I think I can build other people up. Like for example, I picked up something about you very quick early on. You like to observe shit. You have a
Yes.
very keen mind. You have a very keen mind, and you tend to want to look and kind of get a lay of the land kind of deal. And that's very much
Yes.
that's you.
Yeah. I like to feel things out, get my audience, and I was like, okay, I can go. It took me about 3 years to suss out my current workplace to get to this aesthetic.
It's all good.
I was very subtle. I was very subtle when I first started.
I don't know if it's like I can see subtle. Just. I think the word for you is deliberate.
I was deliberately subtle. I very much was. I was deliberately subtle. Well, because I didn't want to scare them. Because it was I went from like okay, so I used to have bubble gum pink hair,
I could totally see that.
pink, and at one point I had like mermaid blue and green, like color everywhere. And then I went to a private office in a high end of town. So I had to tone everything down. So yeah, it
See,
was
you got
yeah.
support. See, you got support right there. Yeah, that's right.
So I finally like you can't really. Let me see if I can turn my light on so you can see the red. But I
Yeah.
have like now like all this red in my hair, but just in this section, and I'm like,
Yes.
it's subtle, but it's neat, so I can get away with it.
You see, I think you see. I am a very like I'm a very very. I have this really little interesting little rule. I learned this when I was actually working with my last day job. You can get away with anything. The real secret is to make it seem normal.
Well,
That
see, and that's yes. So I love that you said that because I went and I'd gotten a different, I got my hair colored, and it was probably the closest thing to a normal hair color I had done in years at that place. And people were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Why? What's wrong?" They're just like, "Your hair, it's not pink." Like it was pretty much a given that Shawna has pink hair. It was almost like that was my natural hair color. I came out my mom with bubblegum pink hair. And that was just and it was acceptable.
Yeah, that's it. No, there are no rules. Like the wonderful thing about this life is a lot of people think there are rules. There isn't. There are no rules. There is just like life is a constant negotiation of what you'll put up with and what you will
Yes.
compromise. That's it.
Yes.
That's life. That's a general rule of thumb, right? I
Yes.
fucking want money
Mhm.
again, so I'm getting serious about working for myself. So
Mhm.
that's that right, and that's where I'm at. But it's different for everybody. It's different for everybody
Mhm.
else. Everybody, what
Yeah.
that looks
I,
like.
I'm a big fan of just getting just so close, putting my foot like right on the edge of what is acceptable. It's like I didn't break the rules. I just found the loopholes in them.
Sometimes that's fun too. That can be fun. I've
Yes.
gotten again. So I'm going to ask this. Please don't hit me. I'm going to just go and
Mhm.
put my arms up. How old are you?
I'm 44.
Ooh, so you give even less of a shit than I do. I'm 40, right?
No, I
So
give a lot of shits. That's my problem.
I see. I give none.
Is I
I
care, but I
probably
don't.
no.
It's a battle
Caring,
for me.
no. See, caring's great. See, I actually will. No matter if you're listening to this, if you're watching this right now, it's important to give a shit. The real question is, what do you give a shit about?
Right. Yes.
Right?
Certain things
That's
you should give a shit about. Some things.
actually most things you shouldn't. There's only to be perfectly honest, I've been thinking about this a lot. There's only about 3 or 4 things that are worth giving a shit about. And I think everything else is kind of whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So right. And that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing, do what you love with people you love. Have the live and let live. Give people the freedom to be whoever they're supposed to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do what you're supposed to do. And deep down, everybody has that inner like grasp of destiny, success, like whatever you want to call it, destiny, purpose, God, whatever you want to call it. I'm not here to debate. We all know what we're supposed to do. We feel it on our bones. We dream about the stuff we're supposed to do. So let's just do it, right?
Yeah.
That's it. I don't give a shit about much else because everything else, look, more like the morals of the world change. There's no stability there. There's just it's a whim. It's legitimately a whim. We don't live in a world with very much integrity, so everything's a whim. So that doesn't matter. So the world says is right today will be wrong tomorrow. So fuck that. Why worry about that shit? You're right. I don't care what other people I don't know really think. I just don't, because it's too much work. The world is a bigger place than me. I don't care. And just about as much as everybody else, they care about me. Probably they think about me the same exact way. That's wonderful. I don't care. Right? Are you happy? Are you doing what you love? Are you letting people do what they love? That's really it. There's nothing really else in this world that matters.
Exactly. I mean, and my philosophy is, if you're not hurting me, you're not hurting other people, and you're not breaking any major laws, if it makes you happy, just do it.
I'm mostly there. The last one, I'm kind of like, I'm at that point in my life. I'm just like, right? I just like whatever. I'm not going to judge. I'm just not going to judge.
Well, I will judge on major. There are some major laws that if you break, I'm going to be like,
I think the not hurt anybody thing covers most of those major laws, though. Is there like one? Is there one that's like that doesn't?
Well, I mean, I think it all depends on like one's definition of hurt. It's like, yes, like you could, if you steal from people, technically you're not physically hurting them, but you could be financially hurting them.
There's truth to that. I've been really poor. So here's the thing. I've been really poor. So again, if I look at somebody's like doing what they have to do to survive, and I have seen those situations, I don't.
So I'm okay with somebody doing like a Robin Hood kind of thing, like but what I'm not okay with is like the people who prey on the innocent people.
No.
And they're like, dude, this person's got like nothing to their name and you're trying to scam them. Like, come on, man. That's not right.
But see, I would argue that's harm. Like, I think that's deliberately, that's harming. That's
that's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm fine, like as far as like the, if you're poor and you're trying to get by and you're like, you rob some rich person, fuck the rich. Fuck them. But if you're some scumbag who's like calling a 90-year-old grandma trying to get her social security, telling her that you're her grandson and you're in jail, that's a douche move, and you're like scum of the earth.
Then you're just a scumbag. That I agree with you on it, right?
Right. So
what I'm saying is I'm at that point in my life when I just look at, again, I think most everything now is a whim. If that's the case, like, again, there's some basic things. Treat people with respect and kindness. Like you should. You really should.
Right. Treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah, but I just have that. I have a very different perspective at this point. Is like, I realize that the rules of the world are not always going to have that concept nailed down with the rules of the world. So and I'm okay with breaking them, whatever those consequences may be in the long run. And that's a decision I've made. Now, again, I'm not going to pick on 90-year-olds, right? Unless one of them's a head of a drug cartel. I have seen some really interesting things, like some interesting things growing up. So it's like, I'm not gonna, like, again, I don't judge. It's a big world. It's a strange world. It's a wonderful world. It's like, I just live and let live and not worry about much else. And again, that's me. Again, and that makes me, and again, that would make me, I guess that would make me chaotic good on like the gamer scale. I'm not necessarily lawful, but I also kind of have my own code of honor. So I think that's chaotic.
Well, I think that would be neutral.
That would be neutral?
Chaotic. Yeah, I think it's chaotic neutral.
Okay.
Because you're
I don't know if that's neutral though, because again, I'm not going to advocate murder or anything like that, or I don't know. It's neutral. Just seems like we just let anything go.
Well, I think that would be wait, what is there? There's chaotic
evil. There's chaotic evil. There's lawful evil. There's chaotic good, like lawful good. There's chaotic neutral. There's lawful.
Okay,
neutral.
so there's
at least 6 of them.
Right. Yeah, I know, because it's chaotic, lawful, and
I mean, technically, it could be either. So I could be chaotic good or chaotic neutral. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm somewhere. To me, I'm somewhere in that area, right?
Yeah, because like to me, like lawful evil would be people who do bad things for the right reason, whereas chaotic evil are people who do bad things for bad reasons. And then there are people who do good things for bad reasons. Chaotic, lawful, and neutral. Yes.
Yeah. No, I see. I think. See, I've seen lawful evil, and because again, the letter of the law can be say one thing, and people can do that one thing, and I've seen that have a much more devastating result than. Like, I don't think it's necessarily. I don't even think it's good intention. Sometimes it's just the letter of the law says this. So you break the spirit of the law to follow that to the. I actually think that might be the right. And
well, no, but that's So that's somebody who's doing the right things for the wrong reasons. Like there are people who are like, I know that it, like, I feel like rules were not so much meant to be broken, but they were meant to bend. I think they should be more guidelines than like rigid structures, because I feel like there's got to be times when you're like, oh, do we have to?
I just did a Star Trek podcast last night, and we talked about the Prime Directive, and when the captains broke the laws, it was just because for humane reasons. For the most humane of reasons, right? I'm not letting this world die because of some stupid law, right?
Exactly.
Right. Because and they said, yeah, we broke the law, and here's my 2-finger salute, right? Because I don't give a rat's ass. Punish me, fuck you, right? And that's it, right? And like there, because again, there's no such thing as a perfect legal system, and there never will be. And the more centralized, if it ever becomes a more centralized legal system, the more fucked up it's actually gonna be, not less, right? So because again, everybody's different. There's all these different circumstances. So, like, I think you need the letter of the law to quantify the spirit of the law, right? Because I just want to go by the spirit of the law, you can justify anything.
Oh God!
If you go, right. But if you go, I'm just going to go by the letter of the law, you can also justify anything, which is they're both terrifying in different ways. So you need one to keep the other honest, right? Basically, that's what it comes down to, and right, because the more specific a law you have, the more the idea quantifies and makes a solid thing. Like, this is the idea of the law.
Right.
The less specified the law is, the vaguer the law, the more it's the more open to interpretation, right? And you got
and that's where you get into trouble.
Yeah, and that's where then you can go that way. But you gotta be careful too, because the more extreme situation, the more there is no exceptions allowed, or if there's no black, there's not a black and white. If it's too black and white,
Hmm.
then you're just gonna create a bunch of crooks.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's just
I'm all for having that middle line. Obviously, let's face it, there are laws that are oddly specific, like the ones that are like some Midwest states illegal to have a baby in a bubble kind of like got some
yeah.
weird laws
Oh
where
yeah,
you
so most
can't do certain things. It's like one, you know that law exists because somebody did it, and they're like, "That's fucked up," and you're just like, your brain's like, "I need to know
do
how
you
this happened."
do you know? Do you?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
look, yes, I do, because I also know that there's reasons why Preparation H comes with warnings saying external use only. Somebody was dumb enough to think, well, maybe if I eat it, it'll help me.
Or it just could you just be like in those particular in that particular case, they tested it in a whole bunch of different ways, and they just said, nope, that's bad. Right?
Well,
That's what
so,
case studies are for.
well, yes, but the case studies are more for like recommended dosage, how often you should take it. The warnings are there because they're covering their ass because
Mm.
somebody was dumb enough to do it and tried to sue them. Like some idiot thought, oh, I'm going to take some NyQuil and I'm going to drive a heavy machinery.
Well, yeah. Yeah, yeah. When it comes to drug companies, though, I have to acknowledge something. I'm like 50-50 on
Hmm.
them. Sometimes I can blame human stupidity, but I also know that some of these drug companies like surprising people as time goes on
Oh,
too.
God, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God, yeah.
So it's like one of those. That one is kind of more like, okay,
But
who actually fucked up here first? But yes,
right,
yeah.
but what I'm saying is on everything there's warning labels because somebody was stupid and did something. Now, personally, I think we should take warning labels off and weed them out, but that's just me. Because if you can't figure out that you shouldn't use a hair dryer in the shower,
See. I also came with I came with like a realization thanks to this wonderful time in history. We're all batshit insane. All of us.
yes,
Yeah, we're
but
all.
that doesn't mean we're stupid.
I see, but see, I would disagree a little bit on
I
that
may
one.
I may be batshit crazy, but at least I know enough that if I'm gonna take a shower, blow dry my hair while I'm in the shower is not a good idea.
Maybe, but I bet you do something that is crazy that from your perspective makes total sense. That someone might just look at you and go, "That's
You're
stupid."
gonna kill. Well,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
thing is
I'm
like
just.
but so here's my thing is when I go to do something and I know what I'm gonna do is probably stupid, I will sit there and be like, could this kill me? No? All right, let's do it. Could I get bodily injury easily from this action? Yes. Then I don't think I'm going to do that.
Sienna, I'm one of those crazy motherfuckers. Could I get hurt doing this? Okay. How do I plan for that? Right. And then lastly, could this kill me? Maybe. Well, that's what makes life interesting. Sometimes depends what it
I
is, though.
mean,
Right? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I know that. I mean, I know inevitably I'm going to die. It's going to happen. Whether it's next week, 2 years, 200 years, who knows?
You could be immortal. You could like the pink hair could just give you the fountain of youth forever. Like totally.
No, that's the coffee.
That's the call. Okay, gotcha.
That's the insane amount of coffee that I drink. Um, but I also, you know, in my mind, if I am going to go out, I don't want it to be for a stupid reason because I don't want that to be my legacy. How did Shawna die? The dumbass, the dumbass decided to blow dry her hair while she was in the bathtub and she dropped it. No, I don't want that.
No, that's right. That, you know what? And you know what?
I don't want that to be my legacy,
And
that I was an idiot.
well, see, so I have so for me, see, I'm one of those. I am a fear junkie, a little bit of a fear junkie. That's just it's in my nature. So I will look at the thing that terrifies me the most, and I will go and do it because it terrifies me the most. Because in that moment, you're more alive, you're more aware, you feel a lot more things than you do in any other point in history. That's the high of fear, right? That can be the high you can get from fear. Knowing all this, that means I'm going to put myself sometimes in dangerous situations, and I'm going to get hurt, and I'm probably going to I may get killed, and it will probably be stupid, right? And I've made my peace with that.
If I die, because I went bungee jumping and the cord broke, I'm okay with that.
Okay, okay, okay. No, yeah, yeah.
But again, I don't want to die, and people ask how, and they say, "Oh, because she was just a fucking idiot."
No.
That I don't want.
I get that. I just saying, like, I'm going to be jumping out of a plane in like my 70s and 80s. It's already kind of like I've already got a master plan for that. Right, I already got a master plan for that. See, here's the thing: someone still might call me stupid, but see, I'm okay. I have learned something very, like, again, last 2 years. I've stopped giving what the rest of the world thinks of me. It's not that important. Right. And that's just a personal thing. Like I just realized, here's the thing. If I die because the parachute doesn't work, or if I die because I decided to, like, I had a heart attack at 70 years old going out of the plane because I was too old to go out. It's like, fuck you, I'm going to do it anyway, right? Yeah. And that's it, right? And again, you could look at that and say, I was stupid. And I'm good with that. Right, I have been the butt of a joke. I've been I've just come to that conclusion. I've just come to that, like, that's just it. I'm not worried about what legacy I leave behind. What I worry about, this is what I worry about, is the life I choose to live. Living. There's a Star Trek. I'm going to quote. I'm sorry, I did a Star Trek thing last night, so you got don't. Yeah. So one of my favorite quotes is from Q. Q just sent them to the board and just sent them back. He goes, the world is filled with wonders to tantalize, but terrors to go bump into the night. The world is not for the faint of heart, and if you are, you should stay in your bed. And there's a certain wisdom in that. What makes life interesting is that it is dangerous, and that's something I think embracing that danger is something that, again, the last 2 years, we've been kind of recoiling from this concept. We kind of have to go back into it to some degree because life is always going to be dangerous.
Well, yes.
Right?
I mean, you could die because you walked out of your house and a tree fell on you.
Exactly.
So
I live in the mountains. My big fantasy of worst death possible is that a lava shark. I don't know how lava would exist in this mountain, but it's possible. Just work with me here. We'll come out, barreling out of the mountain, tumbling right at me, open mouth, put me in, done. Now, again, how realistic is that? Probably not very. I don't care. It's just one of those, like, little weird little, like one of those weird little things. Like, again, I am okay with. I acknowledge my batshit craziness. I acknowledge it, right? I totally do. So, but it's right. So again, that thought it could happen. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could. I could also walk out, and I could walk out the door and get hit by a falling piano. Again, not likely to happen, but it's possible.
Exactly. Like, so, it's like, because, I've had surgeries and people are like, oh, aren't you nervous? I'm like, why? What's the worst that could happen? You die. Well, that's going to happen to me anyway at some point. So why be nervous about it? Because if you live your life nervous on that aspect, you're never going to go anywhere. You're going to be stuck. But in the same respect, there are things that I won't do because they're like, well, are you afraid? It's like, no, I'm not afraid for myself. I just don't want to take anybody. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die. I just don't want to take anybody down with me. I don't want to be responsible for somebody else's death because, anxiety-ridden me, even in death, would be like, oh my God. That would be my internal torment, is
That-
knowing that I killed somebody
so see for me
on
that
accident. On accident.
and on accident. Well, see, so I'm kind of so I'm torn on that. So I'm torn on that for just a couple of reasons. Like, for example, if I've done everything I know what to do
Hmm.
and an accident still happens, I'm still going to feel like shit. There's no way
Well, yeah,
around
of
that.
course.
There's no way
Of
around that,
course.
right?
Yes.
But there comes a point in this life, and this is something I realized a long time ago. There's not a whole fucking lot you're in control of.
No, but there is a ton that you are in control of.
Not, I wouldn't say a ton. I'd say a little. What you do, you really can control just what you do. Everything else is everything else. Like if you look at that from the grand scheme of things, it's a very tiny piece of how the rest of the world works.
Well, yes, of course.
Yeah. So,
but if I can control my actions so that I don't inadvertently kill somebody,
no, that's fair.
I'm going to do that.
No.
Now, will
I
if I am purposely trying to kill someone, then by all means, I will purposely try to kill someone.
I'm good to note that if you do deliberately try to kill somebody, it's going to be deliberate and with intention.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
I can respect your honesty. I can respect that.
Yes, I don't feel like would accidentally kill somebody, because I would feel horrible, and so I'm going to do whatever I can to not accidentally kill somebody.
Yeah.
So here first, folks. This is my confession. If it ever turns out that I killed someone, yeah, it was purposefully. I did it, and I'd do it again.
So bare minimum, folks, it's going to be manslaughter. Bare minimum.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, it's going to be premeditated. Totally.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, but yeah. So at least
no, premeditated, because I'm gonna at least try to cover my tracks, and I want to at least try to get away with it. Yeah, no. There's going to be forethought into this.
There usually is. Seems so. Yeah. I just have come to believe that good plans are plans until the first thing happens, right? It's a great plan until it begins, right?
Okay, but unless you're one of those people like me who thinks, what could possibly go wrong? Well, let's go through this giant list of things that I could possibly fuck up and could go wrong. All right, well, now we're going to plan for these things.
So are you Batman?
What if they ping your phone? What if they ping your phone? Oh, that's easy. I'm just going to buy a prepaid phone with cash in another location and leave my cell phone at home, so that when it pings, it looks like I'm at home. And I'm going to have my friends be texting me, and I'm going to have, I'm going to have my alibi is going to be airtight. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be pig farms involved, because pigs eat everything.
No, pigs. No, that's a good way of doing it. It's not the only way to do it, but it's the way.
I know, but pigs eat everything. Nobody, no crime.
Oil drums are surprisingly very effective too.
But again, nobody, no crime.
Oh no, I agree. But that's why I'm using oil drums. There are ways to dissolve those things.
Yes, but then you got to get rid of the dissolving.
No,
stuff.
that's easy. That's yeah. No. We did learn this from Snatch, Jag. I know. I totally get the Snatch concept. Yes, it's a great movie. Totally. But for me, it's oil drum in the sewer. Just that's it. Just watch let the liquor go little by little. No one will know. Chemistry is kind of. I do play with some chemistry here and there, so there are some interesting tricks to make it so that it just seems like nothing's there. Magic, right? So, yeah, that and the beautiful thing is I don't have to go to a pig farm. But if you do have access to a pig farm, by all means.
See, but in my mind, I'm doing something good because I'm feeding the pigs.
I'm doing something good too. Just
environment. Yeah. No, I'm feeding the pigs. I'm taking care of the animals. You're polluting.
I love that. I love that 45 minutes into our conversation, we've talked about how we would dispose of bodies and murder. I think this is the first for this show.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's fantastic. Yeah. These are the ADHD fueled thoughts that go through my head.
It's a lot
And
of
like,
coffee. No, I just grew up from my dad's from Detroit, so I like he was from on the rough, like he actually grew up in a one of the poor ghetto black neighborhoods of Detroit in the 60s when things were going really to hell there. So I've learned some very interesting, creatively criminal things. So some of that, like I said, I'm I'm gentler in a lot of ways than my father was at the same age. But also I have some of that inner savage that, yeah, if I really had to do
yeah.
something violent, I could. So, that is as much a part of me as anything else. Whereas you, it just sounds like it's a hobby. I'm gonna figure out how to randomly murder people. Or
Yeah,
okay,
of course.
yeah.
You
I
sit
just
there and be like,
that's what I do. So, you're an
the
age.
whole strangers on a train kind of thing. It's like, you need somebody murdered. I need somebody murdered. I have no idea who your friend is. Great, we can't be connected whatsoever. Let's do this.
Actually, that was actually the thing I thought about you. You'd go to murder somebody, and someone beat you to the murder, and you just happen to show up at the crime scene right then and there.
Oh no, I'd be so upset.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably wind up murdering them then. It's like, you
Maybe
stole my
maybe
fucking
not.
murder.
Maybe not. Maybe they're not there by the time you get back. By the time you show up, you just found a guy already murdered. There's nothing else to go by.
Yeah. And
It's
then I'm gonna
awkward.
find the person that no, and then I'm gonna find the person that murdered the person I wanted to murder, and then I'm gonna murder them. And while I'm murdering them, I'm gonna say, you motherfucker, I wanted to murder them. And you killed them first. Inappropriate. That was my kill. You stole it.
That's
Tribute must
hilarious.
be paid now. You're it, bitch.
Okay, well, I got me there. I mean,
Oh,
uh,
I'm enough.
I'm not.
This is why December likes me.
Yeah, I can see this is why December likes you. December. Although she is far sweeter than I have to say that she might be the sweetest person I've interviewed on the show.
Yes, she's a goddamn national treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Nick
And for
Cage
those
needs to
people,
protect her.
uh, she, mm, so here's the thing. I don't think she needs protection.
This is true.
I don't think she does. I think that this is my honest assessment of Miss December. Believe in herself slightly more with the things she truly wants to do. That's just that, right? That's me. And put her and just realize a little quicker when she puts her hearts into some things. This is outside looking in kind of thing. She's the one. She's also, it's her nature. She goes all in on people she likes and believes in.
Yes.
Right, and that's her nature. Consequently, when she is disappointed, it hurts her a lot because it's something because she puts that much investment into her. Right. Slight way to take a step back from that would be a little healthy for her. Just again, not. I don't ask her to change.
No, I know.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah, because there's no way that she's going to. But for me, the big thing is, yeah, she's one of the kindest, sweetest people I know, and
but she'll cut a bitch.
Oh no, no. Won't even think twice. She won't cut a bitch. She'll cut anybody, right? Not just a bitch. She'll cut anybody. If you go at her the wrong way, she'll deal with you. Like I already know that. Like she'll just deal with you. She's just her professional wrestling days might be a little bit behind her, but I bet she can still do some nasty throws, takedowns. Sometimes depending on who teaches you how to pro wrestle, they teach you some nasty, like real devastating moves. I'm sure she's got one or two of those in her arsenal.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah. But that's Miss December. So I'm assuming you two met with like cosplaying and something, because that is your.
So I met December through a mutual friend, Becky. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, you would love my friend. She's December. She's amazing," and she's right. And we just clicked. I met her for the first time in person at C2E2 this past December.
Nice.
December and December. Um, and yeah, and it was so amazing because we'd been talking, Facebook Messenger. We would have a chat, and then me, her, and Becky would have a chat going, and it was just this really great bond that we all formed via the internet, and then finally being able to meet her in person. It was like we'd known each other our whole lives. Like we It was great. And
Yeah.
she does the most amazing cosplay, and her love and affinity for comics is, I love that about her.
Oh no,
Absolutely love that.
again, passion's real. That's what I love
Hmm.
about her. I sent her a copy of my Alice story. So yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, which I think made you pop the last time I talked about that.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alice in Wonderland, the Greek underworld, croquet. Figured that might
Hmm.
be totally your thing.
Totally up my alley.
Yeah.
Because again,
So
Alice in Wonderland is my favorite book. Um, and I love Greek mythology, Roman mythology, all of it. Love it.
so do you want to hear the story about how I actually came up with the idea to mash the two?
How
I met a girl at the bar with a Gorgon tattoo.
nice.
Her name's Heather. She's an artist, friend of mine. Actually, she lives in Alberta. She's a really sweet person, actually. Plays for the other team, which is like, darn, I can't, make that kind of move, but we still became friends. But she has this Gorgon tattoo. And I'm like, hey, I could put Medusa in Wonderland in my Alice story. Why not? It's Wonderland. It could work.
Yeah.
Then I had then I had a eureka moment. This was my eureka moment. Alice and Pandora are the same story. And once I realized that, I had a story. Because I was trying to figure out what to say about Alice that hadn't, or about Lewis Carroll that hadn't already been said. And I'm like, oh, wait, this totally works. It makes so much sense. Again, because every story that has been told, it's how it's different ways you tell the story. I'm like,
Yes.
well, Alice and Pandora is essentially the same story. Pandora opens the box. Why? She's curious. What's in the box? Alice follows the right rabbit down the rabbit hole. Why? She's curious. Like, that's what they have in common. Now, the rest of the story is different for both of them, but the initial premise is the same, right? There's a lot more mushrooms in Alice and a lot more darkness in Pandora, right? But they've also, and the other thing they both have in common is their madness. They both deal with madness in some form or fashion. So they both deal with it. So it's like, it kind of like, it was like, this really works.
It fits.
And it fits. And then, yeah, so I wasn't an Alice in Wonderland fan until I got asked to do this anthology. And now I have this book and I've drawn stuff from it just for practice. It's like, yeah, Alice grows on you. Like, Alice really, really grows on you when you start reading. And so, little spoiler for you, the book 2, Houses of Fate, Through the Looking Glass. It's gonna be fun.
I'm excited. I would like to see where the Jabberwocky comes into play.
That already happened. Alice 0. Dream World. You want to see Medusa as a badass? It's in one of Alice's little dreams.
Medusa's already badass. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and I will say this: Medusa's probably been the nicest surprise of all the. She's the one that. So most of the story, all right. Even though Alice is Alice Pandora in my story, that's her name, because just why not, right? Most of the Greek mythology characters, except for 2 of them, have a counterpart in Wonderland. Medusa's one of the ones that doesn't have a counterpart, and I really and part of that is like by design. I realized that of all the Greek monsters, Medusa might be the biggest victim of them all. And I wanted to kind of change that story. I'm not going to spoil what I do, but I will just say this: when Medusa starts in my book, she has the ability to turn people to stone, but she's not a Gorgon. So yeah. So I'm not gonna spoil much. Like I do have a plan. Like I wanted to, like, that's a character I thought I looked at. It's like, you know what, you deserve better than what you got. Like that's the biggest thing about Medusa. I was like, you deserve much, much better than what the world gave you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to make an educated guess about you. Are you a theater person?
A little, a little, yeah.
Yeah, something told me. Because you have a love of story. I can kind of sense that about you. So either you wrote them or you interacted with them. And I somehow feel, again, you're deliberate and you're slow, but you like to dabble. Something just tells me you're a dabbler that dabbles.
I mean, I've always wanted to try to write because I have a lot of things in my head, but I just can't articulate them onto paper because I have shite for spelling and grammar, like to the point where sometimes I'll be spelling something and even the like the little spell check thing is like, I got nothing for you, bitch. I don't know where you were going with that word. Like it doesn't even try to attempt to figure it out. It's like, nope, you're on your own here.
Listen, breaking a spell checker is fun. I do it sometimes too.
Yep. It's like no recommendations found. We have no idea what you were trying to say. Better luck next time. And then usually I just erase it and find a different word to try to spell. It's like I knew what I wanted to say.
Well, honestly, sometimes I've interviewed different like artists, performers of that nature. Words aren't necessarily your first language of communicating, right? Like sometimes it's about showing what you do, like whether it's drawing a picture, dancing, acting, singing, right? I interviewed an author who just, when it came to their art, they were very expressive, but when it came to just like talking about their stuff, they're just very quiet, right? It's just their nature, you know what I mean? And that's not a bad thing. I mean, yes, I mean, besides the fact that you're plotting for murder every second of the way, right? I mean, wait, am I on your list? I should ask that question. Am I on the list?
Oh no, I barely know you.
Okay, cool. Is Jag on the list?
I have no idea who that is.
The person that's been doing stuff like this.
Yeah, I know. I have no idea who that is.
Okay, cool. So Jag, you're safe, and I'm still safe, at least for the moment. But besides that, I just it's like, she's laughing. There you go.
It's a me, a Mario.
It's a yes.
It's a me, a Mario.
It's me.
Alright, she's awesome.
Cheers.
Flattery. Flattery gets you everywhere.
That's right.
Well played. You catch on quickly.
Right. It's hard
coffee.
To somebody. Yeah. Coffee and flattery get you everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that. But going right, Kai, see? I think I broke her. Yes. Yeah, she's a smart cookie.
I am a smart cookie. Oh, cookies too. I love cookies.
What kind of cookies? So, see, there you go. Now,
when you say a coffee man, are you saying that he's a coffee aficionado or that he works with coffee? Because if he works with coffee, then you and me need to talk. Because I got my little TikTok thing that I set up, and I decided that I was gonna. I don't know why. I was like, you know what? There's 52 weeks in a year. I'm gonna drink a coffee from every state, one each week, and then I'm like, that's a lot of fucking coffee. I'm gonna go broke. So then I decided it's gonna be a coffee a month. For different states, and people decided to send me coffee.
See, you can get that. You can get that right. See, well, although I do feel like see, there's a See, we're both Canadian, right? See, so Jag lives in the town of Ottawa. I am currently in Canmore, Alberta. Right. I'm soon to be heading back to Calgary, Alberta.
Death Wish coffee. Is that what you mean? Death Wish coffee?
So yeah,
If you're talking about Death Wish coffee, yes. In fact, they used one of my sounds on TikTok for one of their videos.
Yeah, that one. Okay, cool.
Yeah, love Death Wish.
So my favorite coffee is the Arabic sludge. Have you ever had
Oh, are
that?
you talking about the one where they
Oh
heat
yeah,
it up over? Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
No, no, totally.
I've not had that, but I want to. I want to try it.
No. So here's the problem. See, Jag, it's hard to get a good version of it up here. It's not impossible, but it's hard, right? Because and even in because it's one of those things where I like it. It actually has an impact. Sometimes you like I have to do things sometimes to coffee to make it stronger, and that one I don't have to worry about that at all. It's like it's good, it's thick enough. No, so the way I'm just to answer this question. This is how I get access to it. There are some great Arabic restaurants that actually do like homemade style like versions of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way you can get it here, right? To make right
Mm.
because it's not just the beans, it's how they prep the coffee. It's not the same way we do. It's totally in their prep.
Oh yeah.
It's totally in the prep. It's totally in the prep. So you have to the thing is, right, not a lot of places do it well. It has to be right. They just don't. However, you go to the right place. Ooh, it's good stuff. There's a spot in Calgary, literally right in the edge of downtown. They do an amazing like sludgy coffee. It's just fantastic. Yeah, she's like, yes, I want to try it. See, but it's hard to come by, and what I mean by that, it's hard to come by well. It's hard to come by well. So, but actually, what I was going to say to you is Miss Mo. Is that why you call yourself Lady Moka? Is it because of your coffee, of your love of coffee?
No, actually, that's because it actually from there's a manga and anime. It's my favorite. It's called Rosario Vampire, and the main character's name is Moka Akasha.
Okay, I've heard of that. I've heard that one. My current favorite manga is Spy X Family.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was everybody thought that it was more for Mocha Mocha, but it's like
no, it just works us. I would say
that it just works.
I would say that, Jag, or she would say that. My boo pad
is from that anime.
I have no idea what that is. Yeah.
Oh, I know exactly what it is. Yeah. It's a mouse pad, and then the gel part that you put your wrist on with the mouse pad is boobs.
Okay.
And it's animated.
No. Okay. That's cool. Yeah.
Sometimes it's butts.
Listen, I don't judge. I'm actually finally getting to the point where I can finally draw breasts and butts. I finally have gotten to that point. It took me a while. Breasts are surprisingly hard to draw the first time.
They are.
Yeah. Until I figured out what breasts actually are, which is basically an upside down heart. Once I figured that out, I was like, nah. No, I
the fact that I'm like my boob pad. Oh, I know exactly what that is, and he's like, wait, what? And then we're talking about, it's a mouse pad with boobies on it, or butts.
The mouse. No. The fact that the mouse pad with booby like the booby factor thing. Once I actually know what that, I didn't know it was called a boob pad. That was the thing that threw me off. Yeah, but it wasn't.
You've seen them. You just didn't know that's called.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, exactly. I just did a Bill Maher's is a comic called Naira X. I backed that. Right, he had a boob pad. I didn't know it was called a boob pad, but he had a boob pad. And then to be fair, Naira is definitely a busty woman. So I'm sure somebody will like it, right? But it's just one of those things where you just were like, "Hey, good on you."
They're called something. That's just what I call it. I thought that's what they're called, boob pads.
This is gonna be like the easiest episode description ever: murder. Coffee, boob pads. Like literally, that's what this episode's going to be called, right?
I love it.
This is literally what we end up talking about.
That's all we talked about. That's perfect.
It's like we talked about finding, like figuring out the balance between like making what makes you happy with work, right? You
Well,
know,
we found out what makes Shawna happy: murder, coffee, and boob pads.
I'm assuming coffee first, boob pad second, murder third. But I could be wrong. Depends on the day. Depends on the
We'll
day.
never exactly. It all
Yeah,
depends. One will never know.
I can bribe you with coffee. I can't bribe you with
As, as long
bribing
as I
with
have mouth, as long as I have boob pad and coffee, murder won't happen.
We've gotten to the point of like boob. It's like, so how to avoid murders? More boob pads. More boob pads for all.
You know what? I thoroughly believe that that would stop a lot of the murders. Boob
Yes,
pads.
boob pads. Maybe. Strange. This has gotten
The
so.
more you know.
So okay, so I should ask this: are you a big comics fan? Are you a big manga fan? What is there like? What was your?
I mean, I like comics. Definitely
Yeah.
comics.
So
Definitely. Definitely comics.
so because you said Rosario, so I'm assuming you've sampled some other manga here and there. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Hmm.
yeah, my favorite manga of all time is Full Metal Alchemist,
Oh,
but
that's a good one.
that is a really good one. All right, really really good one. I'm
Hmm.
currently, like I said, my current choice is Spy X Family. I just finished Grand Blue Fantasy was the other one I did recently. I don't go as big into I enjoy the Japanese light novel concepts a lot more than I do
Hmm.
their manga. All right, I think the manga is I love the format of a manga book, but I
Hmm.
think the pacing sometimes is a bit slow for some of the stories they're telling. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes sometimes the stories can drag a little bit. They're very big on like quote unquote filler that kind of break away from the general story for a bit. But as a whole, you know, they're just so entertaining.
I actually think the format is probably the future of physical comics. To be perfectly honest, like that's where I see it going. That all said, yeah, physical comics today. I still collect four from the mainstream: Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because I'm never gonna outgrow that.
Hmm.
Green Lantern, because that's been my big thing since I was 8 years old. And then
Hmm.
everything else is kind of like, and then I usually pick one or two other
Hmm.
choices. All right, and they're usually something from Image or some really cool preppy indie thing.
Hmm.
Right now, I'm reading Cowboy Bebop because it's new content
Nice.
for there's new content for the show,
Hmm.
as a comic. I can't wait to get back into Saga. I haven't read it in so long, and they're actually doing new issues now of it, and I'm really
Hmm.
excited about that. So I can't wait for that. And there's a haunted ghost one called can't remember what it's called. Like, what is it? It's a music meeting haunted ghost, and it's like Homesick Pilots. Is what it's called.
Huh.
Yes, it's kind
That's
of a fun.
neat.
I love the creative direction. And lastly, the last book I'm currently collecting right now is Harley Quinn. Riley Rossmo. I've known Riley since before he broke into the industry, and I'm a big
Mhm.
fan of Stephanie Phillips. She's can come on the show. She's like the secret Canadian that lives in Florida that everybody knows. She's really cool. Very great,
Secret
great,
Canadian.
great.
Love it.
She's secretly Canadian. She's a Red Wings fan, and she likes Tim Hortons. So I mean, she's secretly Canadian. She's my secret. So I call her. But yeah, so they're both doing Harley Quinn. So I'm like, okay, I'm in. Not for any other
Mhm.
reason other than the fact that they're on the book. So as long as they're there, I'm there. But
Right.
yeah, but that's it. And then everything else is Kickstarter comics. Like I just did Naya
Hmm. Oh, I
X.
love Kickstarter comics.
Kickstarter comics are like crack.
Hmm. Yeah. Legit.
They're legit crack. I got, like I said, the last one was Naira. I'm a big fan of Raw Multari. I'm looking at Nightwolf 6. But the best book I've read in the last year has been Snowpaw, which was by Rob and Mog Park, which is just
Hmm.
like historical fantasy style a werewolf origin story going back to like medieval Scotland. It's fantastic. And this is,
Nice.
yeah, and Mog Park did Game of Thrones. Like she did some of the Game of
Hmm.
Thrones design for the show. So it's like, well, and she's really good. Like really, really good. So yeah, it's like those are the ones I'm really into. I can only do so many. Here's the thing: at Kickstarter, I can't. I only have so much of a wallet, and
Yeah, I know. My wallet's like, girl, bitch, slow down, stop,
slow down,
stop.
bitch. All the while it's burning, right? It's like on fire when you're like, slow down,
But I
slow
need
down.
it.
Yep.
It's like, but I need it.
I'm hoping my secret hope is I get a client for this new advertising model by the end of this week. Because if I do, I'm going to go all in on the Brandon Sanderson Kickstarter.
Nice.
I'm going out if I get a client this week. It's kind of like a personal goal, right? Because if I get that, it's like, yeah, I'm going all in on that. Look, like I think Kickstarter is an amazing concept for publishing, and it's allowed great stories, and it's allowed the publishing industry to decentralize faster. And I actually think that's overall a good thing right now.
Yeah, but it also gives people the power. You know, they don't have to sit around and wait for somebody to approve their book. They don't have to sit there and say, you know, for publishers to say, okay, we like it, so we're going to publish it. Like, fuck you if you like it. I like it. I know other people will like it. Let me publish it, and so it's fine. We're just going to cut out the middleman and let the people decide.
And the thing is, like I know, like a lot of my publishing buddies in Calgary, it's like, how are you going to get money for your Kickstarter? But you only need like 100 people. That's the thing. Like the audience numbers for Kickstarter are smaller, but it's sustainable. It's like it's not impossible to hit these numbers.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not impossible.
I mean, if you have a good solid story, and you've got a concept that is intriguing to people, and you can get it out there, you're golden. You're absolutely golden. And you don't even have to like promise like a ton of stuff. If the main content is good enough, that's what people are going to go for on that sole purpose. Everything else is just like goodies and little extras. So it's totally doable.
I'm actually a story of mine's going to be in my first Kickstarter project in about 2 days.
Nice.
I wrote a short story featuring a Magic the Gathering card. It gets like completely like obliterated. You know how some artists will actually take Magic cards and kind of redesign them? Well, this Magic card hates his redesign. He's covered in glitter. He's going to take his revenge on his deck owner, right? And the guy that commissioned the painting, he's going to take his revenge. He's never going to work properly ever again, like ever, right? Just like it again. You have to play Magic to totally get the joke, but it doesn't matter, right? Right. So, yeah. So, but there's a market for that, and I got paid to write a Magic story. I'm in, right? I mean, it's like
there you go.
Yeah. So, but that's how it works, and like I think the thing is, I should ask, what's been your favorite Kickstarter project that you've been on? Oh wait, that was an evil question. That was an evil question. What's been your favorite ones?
Snow White Apocalypse.
Of course.
I backed. It's Murder Book. But it so far they have 3 issues. I've backed all 3 Kickstarters. But it's the premise of the fairy tales have gone apeshit. They're zombies, some kind of plague that's taken over, and yeah, the princesses are freaking slaying zombies and killing beasts and stuff like that, and I love it. I love it.
I have a book I could recommend to you, just because I have a friend of mine. Her name's Anita. She does she has a short story collection. Very first one is Alice going on a mass murdering spree of Wonderland. Yeah. Every story is about murder and revenge of some kind, some way, in very clever ways. The first one's Alice.
You had me at murder.
Murder, I'm in. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
yes. yeah. I've already figured out like you are one of those people that's like theater-esque style murder. You're in. Has to
Hmm.
be a little artsy, but murder
Yes.
yeah,
Get a little
like
panache, a little
a little
flair.
panache, a little panache in your murder. Okay, yes, yes,
Mhm.
but that's what you think. So, but you do like I said, you cosplay. So when did
Mhm.
you start doing that?
So I've been cosplaying. Oh, geez, like I guess it's relatively not long compared to some people. Probably about 8 or so years.
That's cool.
Um, I got started because a friend of mine, she had tickets to a local convention. And she had an extra ticket, and she goes, "Do you want to go?" And I said, "Oh my God, yes, I would love to go. I've always wanted to go to a convention, but I never had means opportunity." And she goes, "Okay, great. Well, I have an extra costume. I'm gonna put you in, or cosplay. I would put you in." I was like, "I get, I get to cosplay." I was like, "Yes." So, and I was a East Sea Gastrodon Pokemon Genki. Um, it was adorable. I loved it. I had fun. I was hooked. And every year, yep, just building up. I will sew some things. I do like to make my own props. Like so far, I have a Harley Quinn mallet. I have Ramona Flowers hammer, and some other little like I did a punk Pokemon, so I made these giant styrofoam Pokeballs with like chains and stuff on it to look kind of punk and edgy for
Punk and
Pokeball.
edgy Pokemon. So
Yeah.
it's like so like punk style like Pokemon theme music too. Like you were going down, no.
No, but I if I could have found it, I would have. But yeah, and I have my stuffed gastrodon that lives in my back seat in my car. Her name's Jelly Roll. I brought her and I had her like a little punk collar and carried her around, and it was fantastic. I have dressed up uh, Jelly Roll. I dressed her up as Gator Loki one year. I've made like little tiny cosplays for her.
That's awesome.
It was awesome with the little horns.
Gator Loki's like, wait, what? Gator
Yeah, and
Loki.
it was for Terrificon, and so I was running around with her, and I was finding all the Loki variants.
Mhm.
We're like, look, it's another Loki. It was great. It was fun. You had to have been there.
Okay, so I guess I should ask this question: who you like dressing up more, yourself or Jelly Roll?
I do enjoy dressing up myself a lot more, but it's funnier when I dress her up. I'll
Yeah,
say it like that.
yeah. Like I feel like so to me, I kind of look at it like this: cosplaying, like people that do it pretty
Mhm.
seriously. It's an
Mhm.
art form. It's a really really
Mhm.
interesting art
Yeah.
form. It really really is. But I don't know if you could ever do Jelly Roll seriously exactly. I know, right? So it was so I feel kind of like in your case yourself, you go all in. Like again, you make your own props.
Mhm.
You put a lot of
Mhm.
care and detail into what you
Mhm.
do. Whereas Jelly Roll, you're like, okay, I want to laugh. I want to have a little laugh,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
like with my
Well,
costume.
no, I made her a little cape with the little brooches, with the little, had a little chain to hook the brooch on, and then I made her a little helm with the horns.
Hmm.
I was like sitting there making it, gluing it, glittering it. And I was like, this is
You
fucking
glittered the
fantastic.
horns. You actually
Oh
glittered.
yeah.
You
Oh
glittered the
yeah. It was
horns.
oh, it was gold glitter.
You
Gold because
go.
I went oh no, I went all out on this thing. Like like I said, I made like the tiny little horns. They were about like this
Yeah.
big and everything. And pinned her on, and then I put it on her, and she's sitting in my back seat, and I was just cracking up the entire time. And I think my exact words were, "Jelly Roll is filled with glorious fucking purpose." It was
See,
great.
I'm not gonna lie. Golden glitter going everywhere, like that's like your trail. Let's be like the trail.
Hmm.
Follow
Yeah.
her. Follow the golden glitter.
Yep.
And Terrificon. I'm assuming that's where you did that.
Hmm.
It now has a trail of little bits of gold. It'll never entirely eliminate because Jelly
No, yeah,
Roll is
because glitter is the herpes of the craft world.
yes, it is. It just stays.
Hmm. Yeah.
There's no there's
Never
no
to
way
leave.
there's no ways to fully dispose of glitter. You
Exactly.
can minimize glitter, but you can't dispose it. No.
It gets all up in those crevices. Never to
Yes.
leave.
Yeah,
Finding
yeah,
it for you.
yeah. No, it's a parent's worst nightmare. Glitter is like the parent. It's like, oh no. It's like why?
Hmm.
Because we're never getting rid of it. You know that, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Hmm.
ever.
This is why also I'm not a parent, because I would be that asshole parent that would like load a gift full of like glitter and be like, okay, take this to your friend's house.
Yeah,
Suck it, Gina.
I could also see. I could also yeah. Glitter is fun.
Glitter is very fun.
I'm also genuinely surprised at how many episodes glitter has come up on the show. I just like it's one of those things like it has come up quite a bit.
Because it's the herpes of the craft world. It will always come up when you least expect it.
Yeah. No, I the first time it came up, who it came up with? It was it with the pop singer for no, she was second. I mentioned glitter. She's like, oh, I love glitter. No one's ever asked me about it. Yeah, no, totally.
Mm-hmm.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's literally everywhere. I saw it at the metal show I was at. Like it's just there. And thing is in a metal. Okay, here's the thing. Look, if you want to be a truly evil person, this is how you be evil. You glitter yourself up before you go into a mosh pit, because no matter what happens, they're gonna get pieces of glitter all over their stuff. And I don't care how big and tough you think you look. All of a sudden, you got all this rainbow. You got these rainbow glitters going all along your death metal shirt. Suddenly,
Mm-hmm.
you don't look so
Yeah.
intimidating. Like you
Mm-hmm.
just don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying I would do that exactly. Well, maybe I would. I might do that. I'm not above doing that.
Yeah.
I have to have a reason to do that, but I'm not above it. It's like what am I doing this for? Because that would also require me go into the middle of the pit and actually make sure I get the maximum damage in. That's the way to do it, right? You go into the middle of the mosh pit to do that, right? Right. I go for maximum damage, right. So that also means I wouldn't actually the goal of the pit is always get to the front. I wouldn't be going. That wouldn't be my goal that night. The goal that night would just be it's like the glitter is just going everywhere. The glitter is just going everywhere. That actually sounds like an oddly sadistic thing to do in a metal show. I'm not sure why, but it sounds oddly sadistic.
Sounds like fun to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Commander Bang just like, how come I sparkle everywhere? There was this guy in the middle of the pit. Oh, that guy.
Mm-hmm. Some jackass had glitter on him, and now it's everywhere.
Exactly. Everywhere.
Why did it have to be pink glitter?
It wouldn't just be pink. It'd be every color in the spectrum. I'd make sure of it.
It's pink glitter everywhere.
It's as you can see, just no, you would. It's like wahaha. No pink.
It's pink. Not that sort of chick. But that's why you have pink glitter in the mosh pit, because people are like, they don't want to have pink glitter on them.
That's right. That's right. I mean, you're doing some angry big boys in there too, so it's just like like
yeah, but I look like a marshmallow bunny, so I highly doubt that they're gonna want to do anything mean to me.
Oh no,
I didn't mean to get.
Oh no. See, honestly, I'd straight up. First metal show in 3 years, and the hardest hit I had was a 120-pound girl with hair like yours, right? Right. Hair like yours. She literally did jumping body checks into everybody, right? She put her weight on that. I was getting hit by 300-pound dudes, easy, right?
Mhm.
And they hit me less hard than she did, right? So it's like she put it like I see no. If you're in the pit, everybody just assumes you're fighting for your right, like everybody else. They wouldn't go easy. They wouldn't go easy on you. But the
Oh, I
pink,
just meant like the big, burly guys wouldn't like try to hurt me if they're like, "Oh, you're the
oh
one with the glitter."
oh
Like,
no,
"Oh,
they,
I'm
no no no
sorry."
no
They'd be
no.
like, "Okay, well, just be careful next time."
No,
Okay.
see. Yeah, actually, Disturbed's not metal, Jack. By the way, Disturbed's like pop metal. I'm sorry, it just is. It's just pop metal. It really is. I listen to like really hard stuff when I go to metal shows. Like I'm sorry, Disturbed's not metal. It's kind of like pop for metal. That's kind of how I see it. I'm sorry, it really is. I I
Ooh.
I I I I did. I'm sorry, Jag. Seriously, I just watched Omnium Gatherum. I do Amon Amarth. I do like hard stuff, man. Go for it. Go for it. Come to one of my metal shows. I'll show you actually what metal actually sounds like.
Do 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 you need an alibi?
Her or me?
Her.
Yeah. She might. She might.
I got you.
Yeah. No, my like no like oh totally.
You know I'm dating Jet.
Yes. I don't know.
I don't know who's.
You can totally be an alibi. Yes. Yes. Okay. I don't know who you're talking to there. It could be me or it could be her. You for coffee, me for the metal show. Right? So
No.
um
Oh, no. She's talking about me in the alibi.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look, I said you weren't on my list. I didn't say you weren't on anybody else's list.
Oh, I might I'm probably on lots of people's list. I'm good with that.
Well,
Right.
apparently you're on Jag's list now for that comment. She's going to
I'm
find you, and I'm
sorry.
going to be
I
her
just
alibi. So,
yes. See. I'm sorry, Jag. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm a European power metal kind of guy. So, uh,
she loves me already.
yeah, I know. I
I'm
love
a
picking.
lovable person.
I don't mind. I don't mind picking. Aw. So you made a friend. You guys made friends.
New friend.
That's
Achievement
right.
unlocked. Yes.
That's right. You made a new and wonderful friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. And I united you. I united you together with my comment about Disturbed. It's like it all worked. Well, actually, no.
No, we bonded over murder.
Yeah, you bonded over
Yeah.
murder. The Disturbed thing was just the over the top aspect of it when you offered to cover an alibi.
Yeah, exactly.
I also
Now I must find you on socials.
we'll get to that.
Yes.
We'll get to that. She is on Twitch, so
Oh, I will have to look up Jagtress
yes,
on Twitch.
yeah, Jag is Twitch. So and you're on Twitch too. So I mean, we were gonna plug your channel at the end of it. So
Oh, I'm not like totally on Twitch.
see,
I have a Twitch account because I watch people on Twitch occasionally.
Yeah, I dig Twitch for one really simple reason. They are well, I hope coming on this show, Jag, but since you stream on Wednesday, but you're feeling off today, I'm hoping that this made your day, even the Disturbed comment, right? So, but no, I just like one of those. It's one of those things where I I really enjoy the fandom on Twitch. I think the fandom is really passionate here. Sometimes when yes. Good. That was the whole idea.
Exactly.
Yeah,
My purpose has been fulfilled.
that's right. As you know, as everybody can listen, we were very serious about everything we've talked about here. Everything, right? Including especially the glitter. Especially the glitter.
And the
Right?
murder.
And the murder. That's right. And the murder. Because no one can forget. It's all about the murder.
Because look, what's a little murder between friends, huh? Really?
Eh. Fine. Yeah. Just remember, snitches get stitches, folks. Snitches get stitches. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But no, like, so what's been your favorite cosplay throughout the years? I'm sure there's some where you.
Oh, that hands down favorite Bouette.
Bouette?
Bouette.
Oh, Bouette. Oh, okay, really?
Bouette. Mm-hmm. Yep. Bouette. Hands down my favorite that I've done, because I have changed up her look so many times. I did like a 50s housewife version. I did a cheerleader version. I've done a burlesque version. I had the original version. Uh, During COVID, when we were locked down, I would put different like white outfits together and read stories to kids on Facebook Live. Uh, yeah. So hands down, it's Bouette. I love. She's taken on a life of her own. I freaking love it.
That's your go-to.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's your go-to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's cool. That's really cool.
I think she's probably the one that I'm. If anybody would to say what cosplay are you known for, it would be the Bouette.
That's fair. That's fair. And it sounds like it's your favorite one to get up for.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Because it's so much fun, and yeah, it's a ton of fun.
Something wrong with that. So I think I'm gonna get to two final questions and get to the wonderful plugs of your stuff and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
First thing, what at this point, is there a costume or a cosplay you haven't tried it that you kind of want to?
Momohime from I can't pronounce the first name, but it was a Nintendo Switch game, or it was a Nintendo game, Demon Blade.
Okay.
Oh, so good. She's just this badass, beautiful samurai warrior with a katana that is taller than her.
That sounds very anime. Sounds very anime.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous side-scrolling video game. It was absolutely beautiful, and I fell in love with her, and I was like, yes, I need to cosplay Momohime. She's like my dream cosplay to do.
Okay. And I guess so. I feel maybe, and this is just an assessment after an hour and a half of talking about murder, right? I feel in your particular case, in one sense, this is. I feel this is something where a hobby. This is still primarily a hobby. What not yet, Jag? Sorry, you must keep this one. She's always can come back. She can always come back on the show. I was gonna invite her back down the road.
Next day, they came back. That's what I was going, but they came back.
Yes, but I also, Jag, if you haven't seen it yet, you should look up her friend December Lace. You should really look her up.
Yes.
Yeah, you really should look her up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, December gave me a nice, wonderful compliment. I'll keep that to myself for now. Like, yeah, she was giving me sweet. They have already started back up in the States. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm in the States.
Yeah, she's in the States. They've already started up. They're already starting back up. I think Canada's probably got, I figure, another probably the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
We are in some ways really behind the curve. In some ways, we were one of the last countries to get into the whole
Mm-hmm.
program, and so I mean, we'll see. I get the feeling for us it's going to be 2023 when we're really back. I just that's just how I say it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the Western states, I don't know. There is a chance I might go stateside for a couple shows. You're not that far from me. Like Alberta and Chicago isn't that
Oh, I'm
terrible.
not from Chicago.
No, whereabouts are you?
I'm from Connecticut.
Oh, okay, that is a trip. Now that is a trip. You are close to Jag, though. You are close to Jag.
What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I figured Chicago because you do know December, and December is very much
Right. Well, that's
Midwest.
because yeah. So I went to C2E2.
Yes.
So
No,
with the
you are close to Jag. Jag's about an hour and a half from you when you could sit there and figure out the distance. Ottawa, Ontario, and Connecticut is not that far apart.
oh
They're not that far. So I'm far from you, but
yes.
yeah, but she's not. So right. So I was about an hour and a half. I don't know where you crossed the border from Connecticut to there. It's not. It might be New York, like crossing from New York.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you guys aren't that far, right? You might just snip it. Yeah, you might slip in through Montreal. Yes. Yeah, but yeah, you two aren't that far. So I mean, so Jag, I might have made you a new friend. Might have just made you a new friend. So there you go. Just don't kill anybody I know.
Okay.
That's still a lot of people. Just don't kill anybody I know. That.
What if I don't know you know them?
Jag will no, because if you, I'm talking when you two are together. Jag will no. She knows most of the people I know in Ottawa.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long list.
Yeah, will I?
Yeah, but will she tell me? Will she? Yeah, that memory, that
Okay.
short termers. It's tough.
Yes. Okay.
Some,
Okay.
actually, it's called sometimers.
Yeah.
Sometimes you remember, sometimes you
Sometimes you
forget.
don't. Yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah, it can strike at any age
Bribery
too.
I find bribery tends to kill that.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're right.
bribery
Hmm.
tends to eliminate some timers
Yeah, yeah,
altogether.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
some
definitely.
timers become kind of like becomes no timers. It's like what happened?
Yep, you'd be like,
Yeah, it's like I remember what you want me to remember, and I
yeah,
forget what you want me to forget.
yeah. It's like, oh, okay.
Yes,
I remember. I remember now that we are not killing you
yes,
today.
that's right. So you're
Offering
after
should still be made for later.
basically, so you're not a one bribe kind of gal. You have to be bribed
Oh,
constantly.
hell no. Yeah. The better the
See,
bribe, the longer it takes. It's like, okay, that's a shitty
yeah,
bribe. You're going to need to bribe me tomorrow. That's a really good bribe. All right, you've earned a month. Come see me next month.
I'm pretty much a deal's a deal kind of guy. Like that's just how I am. It's like don't change my mind. I think it's
Well, that's the
again.
thing is, it's not that I haven't changed my mind. My decision is I'm not going to kill you yet.
Yes.
Yet.
So
Now,
I have
yet could be today, tomorrow, or 10 years from now.
So I wrote a it's not quite a broken novel. It just doesn't go beyond a certain point in size of the story. But the story was it was a superhero. His superpower was the moment he left eyesight or contact. Technology doesn't record him. The moment he leaves eye contact with anybody, they forget him. So right,
that would be horrible.
It is and it isn't. Kids can see him. They are mean to him. They are very, very mean to him. Right. But thing is, all the characters in the story were named like Seinfeld. I had a character based on somebody I knew for real, and I called her Kill Lady. She had a lot of inner rage issues, and she just wanted like you openly talk about murder because it dissipates your rage a little bit, right? No, he's actually the perfect villain, but he actually tries to be a superhero. He's actually the perfect villain. Anyone with that power,
Yeah, that would totally turn me into a villain, because that is such a lonely existence.
it can be. Yes, it definitely can be. So
Like, that would drive me crazy.
yeah. No, I talk about that in the story, but the one of the jokes in the story though is this: he has this woman coming up that sets up appointments to kill people. She's just Kill Lady. Can I come kill you at 4:00? And she actually works around your schedule. If you're busy, she actually just she gets.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great, right? She's a polite murderer.
Excuse me, let me get my PDA out. Okay, I'd like to pencil you in. Okay. Now, are you going to be wearing white? Yes? Okay, so then we're not going to do anything bloody, because, white and blood, they never come out.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you feel about poison? Quick, easy, okay? All right.
Well, if I like you, the poison's quick and easy. If I don't, it's another story altogether, but that's okay. So,
exactly.
I'm a sadist that way. But but anyway, she would always come by for him for an appointment. So I never got that far in the story. She was one of the few people that remembered him.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
Nice.
He gave the appointment because he figured, well, it doesn't really matter because she's got to get the moment I shut the door anyway. So,
but she doesn't.
No.
It's because she's got a PDA. Those things remember everything.
Well, except again, technology doesn't record him either. So it's just like one of those. Like he was an interesting character to write. But again, he used his powers sometimes for evil, sometimes for fun. Like for example, so he couldn't even go to the grocery store, right? Because again, the thing that the weight plate doesn't record him either. So what he had to do is he took a little kid, spiked the little kid on there to open the door, because the kid would forget. I'm telling you, go do that. So he'd go in, he'd get shopping, ring it up. He'd use actually some groceries to props actually ring his stuff through. And when he'd go to pay, well, sometimes he wouldn't pay. And when he had to go out the door again, he just spiked the same kid on the way out the door because he could. Because now it's like 2 for the price of 1, right? And so yeah, but I figured the part I really want to bring up for that was the Kill Lady part, because I figured you'd enjoy that.
The attention to detail.
Yeah, exactly.
So thorough, so meticulous.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's because if somebody actually went up to you and actually arranged for a time to kill you, would you take them seriously?
Yes, and be like, oh, well, let me see what I got going on. Okay, I do have an appointment tomorrow, so can we do it after that? Because it is kind of a nice appointment.
It depends. It's like, wait, I'm dealing with the IRS. Can you kill me before the appointment with the IRS? I don't have to worry about it. Yeah. Because it's kind of hard to be, you can do that stuff too. It's always a good thing, right? So, but I digress. I guess the last thing I kind of wanted to talk to you about before I called it a wonderful day was this, right? You're a fun, loving individual. So, do you want to do more with the art of your cosplay, or is it just for you the ultimate, like, just a way of express yourself in a fun way?
It's just for me. I don't like, there are people who strive to, do competitions or be what's considered cos famous. I don't want that. I like the fun of it. I like the playfulness of it. It's just totally a hobby that I enjoy doing.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to say Miss Moka. I'm going to say it like Miss Moka because I think that's the right. It's more of a musical. Miss Moka. I think we have an interview here. What do you think?
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it's very nice.
Yeah, it was fun. You talked about murder for most of it. Yeah.
So yes.
Murder, every coffee Topic sludge. I picked a fight with
Mhm.
Jacob over Disturbed. It was hilarious. And,
Yeah.
and
I'm a Grand High Coffee Priestess. What do you expect?
Grand High Coffee Priestess. You want to come back a little down the road? Come back again
Sure,
sometime?
of
Yeah,
course.
we'll do that
Of
down the
course.
road. There you go, Jag. I will let you know down the road when she comes back. Is that fair? And I think you two made friends. Okay, so how can people find you?
So I can be found on TikTok, Little Lady Moka. I do a podcast myself with some weird gentlemen called
Is that
Entertainment.
did I get your TikTok right?
Yeah, that is my TikTok. Yep,
There you
Little Lady
go.
Mocha. And Entertainment Nerd News is the little shitty podcast that we do. We get drunk and we talk about shit. If you follow me on TikTok, you can eventually follow me on Instagram as well. So I don't do Twitter. I don't feel like
Yeah,
people want to
but she
know
does
that
do
much about
Instagram,
me. But I do do
which
I do.
which is
I do have the Instagram. So yeah.
and which so what's the Instagram site?
What is
Little
my
lady
Insta?
Mocha.
Hold on.
What was your Insta?
Mocha Cat 1. So
Okay.
MOKAKAT 1.
Mocha Cat 1. Okay.
Yes.
So there you go, Jack. Follow her on Instagram. She's there. And
Instagram, Twitter. Da, 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 da.
and that will do it for this episode of Just Joshing. We talked the most serious part of this conversation, folks, was the first like 10 minutes of it.
I know where we were talking about like adult like responsibilities and jobs, and then it just went all downhill from there. I was like, fuck this shit.
Well, I maybe this is the last thing I'll mention. There's this cartoon. There's this little comic in the air. It's like, hey, this guy's like flying this imaginary plane. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, shouldn't you be thinking about adult stuff? Like that's all. Like, well, man, no problem. Hey, look up here. This is my bad boy. That's Alice 1. That's the Croquet in the Underworld. You can go pick that up right now if you guys want, if you haven't seen it already. Right? And I'm hoping to have physical copies of the book probably by the end of the summer, which will be kind of sweet.
I like physical books.
Physical books are good.
Mm-hmm.
My digital books, I mean, when you're in an apocalypse, just seem like digital was the way to go, at least in the short term. So short term. But I'm gonna leave this is the last story I'll have on here. So there's this guy like he's flying a plane. He's like, you should be worried about like your taxes and this and that and this right. And you just saw like the person listing all these things was like, what the fuck am I saying? What I'm saying, and ends up joining the guy flying the plane. Because really, get right down to it, no one gives a shit. Again, the majority of this life, we don't give a shit about, right? And if you want to hear an argument for a revolution, that might be the best reason. We don't give a shit about any of this crap. But anyway, that's another conversation for another day. I will say that for everybody watching, everybody listening, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Stay inspired. Keep shining in the dark. Tomorrow, I have another great guest, and that is Leland Bjorg is going to come and talk about his Kickstarter. He is a comic book letterer, writer, cool dude. Looking forward to having him back on the show. He is actually a Canadian-based dude, so it's going to go back to the land of Canada here. Stay inspired, guys.
He's slumming it with the U.S. today.
That's right. Now, I actually been seriously humbled with some of the people I've met. Just both countries. It's been an incredible time. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.